Hello, welcome to MJ's Mystical Tarot, where tarot and true crime come together to try and get answers. Today I'm going to do a video on JonBenet Ramsey. I'm familiar with the case. I remember watching it play out on TV, so I've kind of hesitated on doing a video because I've always gone back and forth on my own, wondering if the family was involved, if it wasn't, if they weren't, sorry. And I have always been concerned that my own preconceived notions might get in the way of what the cards will say. But some friends have encouraged me to do a reading on JonBenet, so I thought I would give it a go. So I would like to call in the energy, the spirit, and the spirit guides around JonBenet Ramsey. JonBenet Ramsey. JonBenet Ramsey, please and thank you. Now, we know what happened to her. We know she was found deceased in her family's home, but we don't know who's involved. No one's ever been arrested. No charges have been filed to my knowledge. So, JonBenet Ramsey, please tell us in your own words what happened to you. Please and thank you. What happened to JonBenet? Who's responsible? Who's responsible? Okay. Games in reverse. Car came up in the upright position, so something about the car. Hotel came in sideways. I don't think there's anything about a hotel. Cleanup. I do believe there was a cleanup involved. Just personal opinion. A narcissist. Evil or demonic. Ooh, that's interesting. Anger came in reverse, and the Watcher came in reverse. Corruption, but that, I don't know which way that was meant to come, so I'll put that sideways. And greed. Again, I don't know which way that was supposed to come, so that will be left sideways. I think I'll grab a few more from that deck, actually. I will have to separate it in two, because as you saw, it's a big deck that I made, and it's difficult to shuffle it all at once. So, anything else you want to tell us, JonBenet, please and thank you. Rage, violence. Okay, but anger came in reverse, but rage and violent, I couldn't tell which way it was supposed to come. Anything else, JonBenet, from this part? What else do we need to know, JonBenet? Who is responsible? What happened? Thank you, JonBenet. So I do plan to do probably another video on JonBenet. So if you have any questions you would like me to cover, please let me know in the description, in the questions below, the comments below. Sorry, I can't talk. So, water. I remember early on that there was a theory that this had to do with her wetting the bed. So could that actually be a possible motive? Death. Unfortunately, we know she has passed on. Buried truth. I think that was supposed to be in the upright. I think truth has been lost. Home. She was found in her home, her family's home. Earth. She is now in the earth. I think that should have been that way. Eyewitness. So there could be an eyewitness. And police. So are the police... If you're familiar with the case, you know that a lot of people have said the police botched the investigation. They went in the home, allowed the father to show them around the house. The father's the one that supposedly found her deceased and brought her and carried her upstairs away from the crime scene. So there was definitely a lot of questions about the police. So could the police be corrupted? Is that where that is connecting? Could the police also be greedy? That could be, those could be maybe connected. I do feel that the truth has been buried because we don't know what happened. Could there have been an eyewitness? Possibly. So let's get some clarification. I'll go with my situations deck to start. Can we clarify this eyewitness, please, and thank you. Clarify the eyewitness. Interlude, pause, timing factor. Magnetic, unexplainable pull, can't resist. So what does that have to do with this eyewitness? Interesting. What else do we need to know, JonBenet? Clarify corruption, please. Let's clarify corruption first. Receipts, proof, show me. So there could be proof of whatever, where the corruption's coming from. Can we clarify police? Oh, and you gave me a lot on police. Ascension, spiritual path, awakening, lost, ghosted, blocked, cut off. So does she feel that the police are kind of lost? Children, young, childhood, playful. She was young. I think she was, what, 5 or 6? And sold, moving, physical, location change, and that came in sideways. Anything else you want to tell us from this deck? Whoa, she wants to tell everything. Just a couple more from this deck. I'll go through some other decks with you, JonBenet. What else do we really need to know? What's most important? Who's responsible? Can you tell us who's responsible for any of these cards? Alien, telepathic, dreams, songs, grip, anchor, chains, weighed down, and that is a man. So man, a male energy is responsible. Whether that's a man, a child, I don't know. Anything else from this deck? Pretending, fake, living beyond means. Was her family living beyond their means? Perhaps that's where the greed comes in. That's a possibility. Never know. And lockbox, closed in, trapped, frustrated. She was found in a room in the basement that a lot of people didn't, that apparently the police weren't aware existed at the first, when they first went around the house. It was only, I don't know how the father claims he didn't remember that room, but so did they take her there to lock her in, closed her in, trapped her? Let's get my spill the beans, spill the tea, whatever you want to call it, homemade deck, and see what else. Let's clarify some more. What else do we need to know, JonBenet? Please and thank you. What else do you want us to know about what happened and who's responsible? And if you're not familiar for some reason with JonBenet's case, because it was so long ago, please, I will link a couple of videos I know down below. But you can Google her case. It was very famous. It's lots of information about it online. Thank you, JonBenet. Happiness hater, so somebody that maybe was hated that how happy she was. Toxic, I don't know which way that was supposed to come, so I'll put that sideways just in case. Destroyed, shattered, broken, effed up, somebody effed up. Focused, were they focused, were they not focused? That came in sideways, so I'll leave that sideways. Insecure, somebody who was possibly insecure, probably insecure. Maybe they were insecure because of her. That could be family. That could be not family. Cutting ties. Putting on a show. So this is giving that fake living beyond means, putting on a show. You know what I mean? That's giving me that. So that could be a very significant thing. Creeping, was somebody creeping on her? And you can be family and be creeping on someone. Fake friends. So was this somebody outside the family? Broke, but that came in reverse. So were they broke and they didn't want to admit it? Depression, that came in reverse, but am I haunted, also came in reverse. An inside scoop. Now, I don't know if I flipped them the way that they were meant, but I'm leaving them the way that I flipped them because that could be significant the way that I flipped them. With a homemade deck, it's a little harder to tell, the right way in reverse positions when you're shuffling. So I leave them the way that they come, but maybe the family was broke and were pretending to putting on a show that they weren't. But I think somebody does have the inside scoop. Somebody knows what happened. Somebody knows. Let's get another deck. What else do we need to know, JonBenet? You're in a safe space. Tell us what we need to know. Who's responsible? That one wants to come. Divine masculine. Yang masculine. So it is a male. What else do we need to know? Silence. Frozen, no words, stone wall. So somebody is being silent, not speaking. Since there's been no closure in this case, that is for sure. What else do we need to know, JonBenet? What happened? Who's responsible? Clinging, holding on, obsessing, spying. So somebody might have been spying on her. Or they could be holding on to... They could be obsessing about her. They could be holding on to something. Maybe they've held on to, quote unquote, a trophy, so to speak. Resistance, secret admirer, suppressing, timid. Again, you can be a family member and be creeping or being the secret admirer. That doesn't have to be outside, but that can be outside. So that could be a very significant clue. Running. Ghosting, disappearing, invisible. So somebody could be on the run or trying to disappear. Anything else? Clarity, truth, intentions, honesty. And that looks like a camera. So could there be some kind of photo evidence of what happened? What else do you want us to know, JonBenet? Who's responsible? What happened? What do you want us to know? I got the whale, wisdom, the butterfly, evolution, the worm, renewal. Oh, she gave me a lot. Okay. The horse, journey, the wolf, instincts, the sea lion, balance, and the axolotl, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, I apologize, regeneration. Wow. So I'm getting somebody who people think is wise is involved, or involved doesn't mean they're the one who did anything, but they're involved in some way, maybe with cover-up. She feels like she's evolved and regenerated and went on a journey in her death. She likes that there's renewed interest in her case, or continued interest in her case. And she thinks that the police need to trust their instincts and balance to get answers in her case, if that will happen. I hope it will. We would like there to be answers in her case. What else would you like us to know, JonBenet? The puppeteer, explanations, apologies. So someone's pulling the strings and has all the explanations of what happened. That's what I'm getting from that. What else, JonBenet? What else do we need to know? Whatever you want to tell us. The dancer, self-expression, strength. So somebody who's strong, whether physical strength or just seen as a strong person in some ways, like a mentally or emotionally strong or spiritually strong person I'm getting. What else? The forgotten, missed opportunities, fear of failure. She feels like in some ways she's been forgotten because her case has never been solved. The orator, communication, confidence. So somebody who's very good at talking. And yeah, somebody who's confident in their communication skills. The queen, determination, sacrifice. So I'm getting female energy, so there could be a female as well. Let's go for one more from this deck. One more card, please, JonBenet. You want 2 more. Thank you. The founder, foundation's community, so somebody in power. And that doesn't mean they're the one responsible, but they could be covering up, or we got corrupt, I think. They could be the corrupted one. And the miser, stubbornness, inflexibility. I'm getting a male energy, so maybe a male and female, somebody who was miserable, I'm getting miserable, somebody who was stubborn. JonBenet, when will there be a breakthrough in your case, please and thank you? When will we have a breakthrough in your case? Oh, and you gave me 2. Number 45, next year looks promising. 13, next summer. So there could be something this summer or even next year in the summertime. So 2027 could be a significant year for her case. What else, JonBenet? That flipped when it came down, but I don't think it was meant to. 32, shield your energy. Look beneath the surface. So look beneath the surface of what's been said and look beneath the surface of the evidence I'm getting. One more. Whoa. Okay. That, I think, is her energy wanting to really get some justice for herself. Number 24, light codes, travel awaits you. So maybe somebody who's moved and they may have to travel to find them. Since you want a lot, let's go with one more from this deck. Oh, thank you, JonBenet. And again, that flipped. I don't know if I did that on accidentally or what. And again, I'm getting a deer. 23, lead the way, light your own path. So a stag. So again, male energy I'm getting. Anything else, JonBenet? Thank you. And after that, I'll get the tarot deck and then hopefully use my crystal ball for a bit. 62, turtle spirit, slow and steady wins the race. Well, this has been a very slow and steady progress in her case. Number 5, bat spirit, a rebirth is assured. So maybe that means a rebirth in her case. So maybe we will have justice next year or next summer. Number 26, flamingo spirit, embrace the in-between. Then these came sideways, so I'll leave them sideways. 63, vulture spirit, nothing is wasted. So no little piece of evidence is wasted. They'll use everything to help find who's responsible. 52, scarab beetle spirit, magic works through you. And this one came in reverse, which I didn't realize. 17, crow spirit, co-create with spirit. And I will grab the tarot deck, pull a couple cards, and then I will use the crystal ball. What else do we need to know, JonBenet? The star. And that looks like, so I'm getting something, she was in pageants. And this is giving me kind of a pageant energy. So was somebody jealous of her pageants, or was the cost of being in pageants, since money has come up, maybe the cost of her pageant expenses was becoming an issue. The moon. Again, I'm getting somebody pulling the strings, a puppeteer. So was somebody trying to dictate what she did and when she did it? I mean, I realized she was a child and her parents were responsible for her, but I'm getting more than like parental control. I'm getting like somebody was really a dictator. And that doesn't have to be a male to be a dictator. The Fool. Anything else? Eight of Pentacles. Painter. And if you're not familiar, her mother was a painter. And one of her paintbrushes was manufactured into a tool that harmed JonBenet at the end. So with the Queen, does that mean the mother was involved? Or are they just trying to pin it on the mother to make her look involved? Or maybe the mother helped cover up something. But that is giving me maternal, motherly energy. Anything else? Anything else about who's involved? Who's responsible? The Lovers. So maybe mom and dad. Or maybe mom had an affair with somebody. The Chariot. I'm getting knight in shining armor. So is that dad or is that someone else? Anything else about who's involved? Eight of Swords. And again, a female, but she looks blindfolded. So was JonBenet being assaulted by a male and mom was blind to it? And when she realized, she felt the need to end her daughter's life to save her. Okay, I'm going to get the crystal ball. You won't be able to see what I see. And I'm looking at this through the viewfinder on my camera, on my phone, and the image on here, initially that's giving me like an angel, but it's also giving me like somebody chopping wood. I don't know if that's significant, but it could be. There could be some kind of significance to that. I'm going to pull this table to me. I will say what I see. So, JonBenet Ramsey, JonBenet Ramsey, JonBenet Ramsey. Please and thank you. Show me using this crystal ball who is responsible for your murder. Please and thank you. I apologize for that. I have to weigh my tripod down with something and I just banged into it with my hand. So, who is responsible for what happened to you? Please and thank you. JonBenet, show me who is responsible for what happened to you, sweet girl. Can you show me if it was a male or female who's responsible? Parent, a child, an adult. An adult. Let's just start with adult or child. Can you show me if it was an adult or a child? Or a man or a woman? Sometimes children's energies are hard to connect with. What I'm getting right now is a moon. But I'm also seeing like a church window, like a church. I'm actually seeing Mary, like Jesus's mother, like that Mary in a statue from a church. So is she giving me the mother image through showing me Mary? So she's trying to tell me her mother's the one responsible, but showing me, instead of showing me a female, she's showing me Mary to tell me that it's the mother. Who harmed you, JonBenet? You can give me an initial, a letter, a name, a picture, gender. Who's responsible, JonBenet? Who killed you? All she's giving me is Mary. So I don't know if that means her mother is the one responsible or if she covered up. But all she's showing me is Mary. Children's energies are a lot more difficult to connect with than an adult. Sometimes they don't realize what happened to them. Sometimes they don't realize they've died. And a lot of times, even if they know it was their parents, they don't want to. They're willing to sometimes forgive and forget because they love their parents so much and they don't understand. So I can't say it was Patsy completely, but she is giving me Mary in the crystal ball and a lot of female, motherly, maternal energy in the cards. So mom is involved in some way, whether she covered up, whether she was blind to who or what happened to JonBenet, whether she was blind about what happened or who was responsible. She was involved more than just her paintbrush handle was. So that's what the cards are speaking. Tarot and oracle cards are open for interpretation. So if you interpret these differently, please feel free to comment that below. If there are questions you would like me to ask JonBenet in a future video, please leave those below. If you have a suggestion for another case for me to cover, please list that below. I don't care if it's a cold case from the 1940s or whenever. I'm open to covering any case. If it's a recent case, I will try and prioritize that if there's a chance that they're still alive or can still, like if it's cases that are more recent where there's a chance to find them or find the person responsible, I do tend to prioritize a little bit over the older cases, but I will do my best to cover all of them as quickly as I can. If you haven't, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If you have any information on the JonBenet Ramsey case or any other case, please contact your local authorities. If you are in Canada, you can contact Crime Stoppers anonymously through their 1-800 number, or you can visit their website. Thank you for watching today, and until next time, I hope you have a great day.